and welcome to ReCall The Midwife. We're a podcast where we watch an episode of Call The Midwife and talk about it. Today, we are talking about Series 13, Episode 4. My name's Alex.
I'm Becky.
I'm Jen. A reminder that this week's episode deals with traumatic birth, serious illness, a death, and adoption. So if those topics are ones you'd prefer to skip this time, we understand and hope you join us for the next one.
The pupil midwives have reached the midway point in their course and are handing in their casebooks for review. Nurse Highland and Trixie deliver Prue Stanton's baby, but Trixie is distracted after receiving a call from Matthew, leading to a mistake which puts Mrs. Stanton's life at risk. There's a TB vaccination drive which leads Nurse Clifford and Dr. Turner to the Chidozi family. This triggers a memory in Nancy, and Phyllis and Miss Higgins help her to learn more about her family. And the residents of Poplar nervously await the moon landings. Now that was short, sweet, and not written by AI.
Dick Burnbacks.
Now, this is the episode after the harrowing last episode of Fred. And I thought, oh, this will be a much lighter. No, it wasn't. This was not a much lighter episode.
This was just as bad. Bad in a different way. Just as bad.
But it's July in 1969, and it's the rocket space mission astronauts. Now, Bex is just...
Now, that's not... It's not the rocket space mission astronaut.
Oh, I wrote that down. I was tired when I did it.
It's the Apollo 11 moon landings.
Yes.
Yes.
Rocket space mission. I love it.
Tell us about the mission that you've just done, Bex.
Well, before we joined the call, I thought, I'll ask my parents what they remember about the moon landings. I got the information I needed within the first 2 minutes, and then it became a 10-minute phone call. But I really do appreciate their input. So my parents were set, and Alex's parents will be the same age because our parents have basically followed the same life cycle.
Exactly. They had a boy the same school year, a girl the same. They got married the same year. Yeah.
So my parents were 17 or 18 when the moon landings happened. My mum remembered it. Well, both of them said that basically the whole family watched it together. My mum remembered lying on the floor watching the TV and just how tense it was. And my dad was the same. Apparently, they had a posh television. It was a black and white Echo television, which had 3 channels, but you could also get radio through the television, which apparently in those days was quite posh.
Yeah.
But he remembered the same, just everybody huddled together watching it. And yeah, just it was really tense. Oh, and apparently, because this came out with Sister Monica Joan, apparently it was really unusual for there to be a live TV event.
Well, yeah.
So that was kind of a first. That's all I've got.
Surprise! We have a special impromptu guest. Hello. So my mom is here, and when Bex said this, I was like, wait a minute, amazing idea. I love hearing the parents' perspective. So Bex has her parents' perspective so you guys have the British side covered. And we watched the episode last night together, right? And I turned to Mom when the moon landing was happening, which I actually felt very emotional about when I was watching it. It really touched me. Everyone had all their paraphernalia on. And I said, you watched that, didn't you? As it was actually happening, she said, I did. So tell us what about your memories of the moon landing really quick for the listeners.
Okay, the episode we watched.
Okay, wait, can you guys hear her?
The episode we watched last night?
Yes.
It just made me remember very vividly that all of that took place before the word parenting was invented. It was mommying. That was it.
Oh, really?
Who's the mommy? The mommy does the mommying of the baby. There is no parenting. And the midwives are there for women, but some of the men are there for their families, working extraordinarily hard under terrible circumstances to support their children. But at the end of the day, it's the mom that stands there and watches her children being taken to the isolation ward. And what
the Chidozi family. Yeah.
She has to take care of those children alone. So she's not only mommying and parenting, now she must also find a way to support. And even a mother who is extremely well supported by a wealthy man, there's no parenting. There's only mommying.
Whoa! She jumped ahead. Okay.
And to say, this is who I am, he was like, well, it's not about who you are. It's who we are. No, sir. You're saying it's who you are as a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew her before you ever married her.
Yeah, way before.
She rode a bicycle to work. And you have a floofy car.
I love this perspective, and we will definitely digest this, but did you want to talk about the moon landing?
No, I have to think. No, here's what I have to think. All the stuff I just said, I thought about it.
It was brilliant.
Over.
It's really good, Mom.
I mean, it was after the show was over and we were just doing stuff. But this is your podcast, and everything that's said has to be thought over.
I mean, you say that, but that's very much not the case for us three.
I listen to you. You think it over. I have not thought it over. But thank you for the guest appearance. Totally by surprise. I just love y'all to bits.
Oh,
And the goodest.
Okay, well, I appreciate that perspective, and we will definitely talk about that. And thank you for your input.
Thank you.
bye.
Mama. She just blew air kisses if it didn't come across the
Oh, I
sound.
love that.
Yeah.
Guest appearance there, guys.
There we go. There we go. We haven't had Mama on in a minute, so I figured since we were talking about parents' opinions.
So it opens with the pupil midwives handing in their casebooks. The coffee stains on that casebook.
Oh my God, yeah.
I couldn't.
I mean,
That was
I
crazy.
love seeing the other two midwives like they've been a slightly part of it at all. They have not. No one cares
Well,
about them.
No.
The first thing I thought of when I saw them was you saying like we're never gonna see these two ever again, and then they actually came back for that. I'm sure we're never gonna see them again after this.
I
But,
mean, let's be honest, it wasn't meaningful, was it?
No,
Like,
and
they were
actually,
chatting about the pupil midwives, and it was like thrown in. Just the others just casually been thrown in, like the chat about them. Well, with these coffee stains and this. I just thought, this is just pure ridiculousness. There's nothing like it's just. I know it's all acting and pretend anyway, but I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
I know. Well, they made it out that it seemed like they were positioning Rosalind and Joyce to be the stars of the, like that the other two were kind of like not that great, a little bit, Jocelyn and Rosalind. Isn't that what I said? Oh,
Joyce.
Oh, Joyce. Yes, exactly. Joyce.
No, you said it
I
right,
did it
but-
again. Oh no.
No, it didn't. She said Jocelyn like Joyce and Rosalind. You did it right.
Oh,
You did it
okay.
right, but they're the new Ternadette.
Oh, Jocelyn. Yes, exactly. So Jocelyn are superstars.
Yeah.
Yes. And no surprise, by the way, that Joyce is really A+, because the way that she handled Mrs. I can't remember her name that you said, Bex.
Prue
was
Stanton.
Oh my God. I don't know when we're gonna get to it, but she was like such a superstar.
Well, they
Those
sent her to
two-
Prue Stanton because she's all about hospital, isn't she?
Yeah.
And
So there's
Prue is
two-
not. She's a bit naughty, isn't she?
So
She's
there's
the
two.
opposite.
I've said so. There's two like 5 times.
Sorry.
Sorry, Bex. I'm gonna be quiet.
We might have to edit some of those out. So there's
No.
two main storylines. So there's the Chidozi family, and then that leads us to Nancy's kind of storyline, and then there's Prue Stanton's story, which leads us to Trixie. So which do we want to do first?
Well, I think we do the Prue Stanton because we're talking about it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I found it quite hard because I watched these. Spoiler, I watched this the same as last week's. So I watched them both in one night because we're recording one night after the other. And I found like this episode was really interwoven. Like, sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
So I've got separate notes everywhere.
Well, Prue Stanton, was it her second baby? She's a geriatric mother, so basically younger than us.
Yeah, she was basically like 30 years old, so that's great to know. But
Her daughter
I
was
got
about
to
15 though, wasn't she?
yeah, I
I
got the sense she was like she had a few kids, not just one
Yeah.
other daughter.
So yeah, because actually she might have had a youngest at home, but her oldest might have,
Mm-hmm.
her older kids might have left home by now.
Mm. Or like they just didn't have the budge to show like the, elementary school age kids that were
They're
there.
at
But
school or whatever, yeah.
yeah.
She's expecting her nth baby.
Yes.
She hasn't been to the clinic for any checkups.
Too much to do, Ness.
I'm cleaning up after this lot. Or whatever she said. Yeah.
She's constantly smoking.
Yeah. She's not been taking her tablets. She was so awkward when she was like, have you all been taking your iron tablets? That was a terrible impression of Joyce. And she was like, one for today, one for tomorrow, one for yesterday. Like in front of her, like necking her. I just thought it was a bit awkward.
Well, in the
Also-
way sorry, Bex, go ahead.
There's a whole thing with taking iron tablets because you're not supposed to take iron tablets like within a certain window of having a cup of tea.
Oh, is that for real?
No, because the tannins in the tea, I think, stop the iron being absorbed.
I take mine with a
Ah.
tea every morning.
It's doing nothing.
Yeah, you're killing the iron benefit there, Al.
Oh my God.
God. I just felt like she was such a snot the whole time. Like until they were literally at the birth part of it. She was so rude. In fact, I actually wondered, I was like, I wonder if Jocelyn is going to say anything about
Joyce.
Joyce, yes. You guys have, this is going to be a problem for the next 2 series. Is going to say anything to her about the smoking because, I mean, to me, to see a smoking mother was so, it kind of gave me like a start, honestly. Like I saw it and I just was like, oh no, even though I know we've seen it before in the show. But then when she said something to her about smoking and she's like, well, I can smoke it out here. And she's like, no, it keeps the baby small, like, which means it's an easier labor, which means I'm happier. And I just was like, oh no, fetal birth weight. Oh no, oh no. But then she said, well, anyways, it's time to see you. So put it out because we can come into the other room or whatever. But she was such a poopy head.
She also brought a sample in a ketchup bottle that had some ketchup in it. So I think how much sugar's in that?
I know. Well, I mean, I think she knew on purpose that she was bringing it and it might not even really count.
Yeah.
I just was like, you're being such a poop head. Sorry.
I feel like Joyce really, because obviously they set that challenge for Joyce. I don't know what they were making the others do, like not have coffee stains on and be neater. Like they just made these stupid comments about that.
Because they literally said that Joyce was like streaks above everybody else and then basically test her.
Yeah, with this bitch, basically.
Like the only problem Joyce has is that she's a pro hospital midwife. Other than that, she's amazing at everything she's doing.
And spoiler alert for series 15, because I'm on the new series.
Yeah,
that's the good thing. But also Rosalind was told that she needs to work on her confidence as well. You know, while they were just saying about
that she can easily become flustered.
Yeah.
Also, Jen, I just have noticed that you have spent a lot of time around your nephews.
Yes.
Because you were referring to people as poopy head.
Poopy heads. Yes. This is their influence. Well, I was trying to think of like a good way to describe someone who's just
belligerent.
Like belligerent and annoying and irritating, but like not doing anything like
willful.
Really horrible. You know what I mean? Like she's not hurting Joyce. She's not being offensive, really. She's just being like kind of just a jerk, basically. I'm like, poopy head.
Well, I mean, it worked. So the head's not engaged on Prue Stanton's baby, right?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Can I tell you something really cute about my nephews, though, that I just found out?
Yes.
So on Friday, I called my sister, because shout out my sister. She's like totally ignored me ever since the holidays because, I don't know, whatever. She thinks she's so
Does she even listen to this podcast? Will she?
No, she won't. She won't even hear this. But anyway, so like, that's why I'm joking about it. But no, we'll talk. She's just been busy. But anyways, so I called her because I wanted to ask her a question on Friday morning, and it was before the boys were leaving for school. And so we were chatting with them, and they were like, hi, Auntie Jen, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, guess what? And they got Rising Star Awards at their school. I think they give them out every month to like different kids. And my nephews got them.
Aww.
So there are Rising Stars. Yeah. So anyways, like big ups to my little men there.
Do you know who wasn't a rising star? Prue Stanton. So the baby's head wasn't engaged, but then she goes into labour.
Right.
Now, while she was going into labour, Matthew was getting stressed with John T crying, right? And Trixie was in the labour with Prue Stanton.
Well, no. Well, yes. But
I was going to say yes.
Sheila hands over to Trixie.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been with her for like 12 hours and it's like a long birth. So Trixie's on call, so she immediately goes out to do it.
And Joyce was there as well. Now, Matthew was getting really stressed with John T crying in the meantime. They kind of cut to that. And then he's like shouting for the nanny to come, which I thought, that wasn't nice, Matthew. And then Joyce says,
Matthew referred to him as, can you please stop that child from
crying? Like there was just a random little kid in his house that he like didn't know how they got there.
Like he was on a plane and somebody's child was crying.
Well, also the way that he was like, nanny, you know, I just was like, oh my God, get a grip, you know?
Well, he didn't get a grip. So anyway, Joyce is there, and Joyce was so, the way they were like, oh, we need to test Joyce. They didn't need to test Joyce. She was absolutely boss. She was like, basically, you need an enema or a walk. Which one you doing?
Oh, that was amazing. It
was so bossy, but brilliant with it. Like, I just loved it, right? Then Rosalind comes. No.
I want to know, when they do an enema.
Yeah, high, hot, and a hell of a lot.
Yeah. We haven't had an enema on the show in a minute.
No.
So they obviously put a pipe up their bum.
Yeah.
But how do you force the liquid to go up?
It's the angle you do it, isn't it? You hold it really high, and that foot. If the angle's higher, much higher, that makes that's science.
Yeah, we're basically just a bag full of pipes, you guys.
Yeah.
A body bag full of pipes. Yeah.
Trixie, but actually, just really quick, while we just say this, because we recorded the one about Fred yesterday, but in real life, I'm watching series 15, and the episode last night was about rabies and not one mention about Fred. Just came to me head then, and I was just like, what? No, really weird. Anyway, I just want to call back on that. We'll put a pin in that till series 15, episode 2.
Honestly,
Anyway,
if we talk about it anymore, I'm gonna have even more questions about rabies in general. So I
yeah,
don't.
well, God, but you know what? We need an episode on that, don't we? So,
Yeah. It's our we haven't had a Boer War in a minute, and I think this is going to be our
we'll
new
do
Boer
one
War.
special on Boer War and one episode on tetanus and rabies. So anyway,
OG listeners know.
Yeah. So Rosalind knocks on the door in a panic, like she's cycled over. Matthew, Trixie, you need to call Matthew. Matthew said to call, right?
It's an emergency.
Yeah. So Trixie goes out of this really problematic birth where Prue's dancing, swearing and smoking, right?
Panicking, thinking it's Jonty.
Yeah, because you would panic. You'd be absolutely terrified, right? That you've been, like, you're at work in the birth and you've been called out to this place, right? So Joyce is there with Prue's dancing still. So Trixie goes out to the phone box, because bearing in mind, people don't have phones in the house, like, still in here. Like, obviously Trixie does in her house, but most people don't.
I did think the phone box was really close, though, actually.
It probably was, but that's not the point.
They're always within 3 houses of a phone box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if actually around here,
convenient.
Bex, how far do you remember growing up with phone boxes? The nearest phone box to my house growing up was about, I don't know, I can't work it out. Oh God, well over 1,000 meters, well over.
You'd have to walk for a solid like 5-10 minutes to get to it, is what I'm getting.
Yeah. But I don't live in central London. But anyway, so he's like, oh, I've got the most dreadful headache. How much longer until you're home? And he's like, you have other responsibilities. And I just thought, Matthew, it's 1969.
This was so irritating. He just was like, I'm calling because I had a really bad day. And then she's like, don't you know where I am? She's like, I'm at work. She's like, literally, like, someone is pushing out a baby right now. He's like, oh, yeah. Anyways, she's like, are you okay? He's like, well, I had 3 business calls, and then I had to do a spreadsheet, and then I had to, da-da-da. And she's just like, are you kidding me?
To do a spreadsheet.
Well, yeah, I know they probably didn't have those back then, but like, he was just like, started just talking about his day, and I just thought it was so irritatingly.
Well, it irked me. But do you remember what you said, Beth, about when you said he was starting getting headaches?
I thought he's got a brain tumour.
So did I, because his personality changed completely too. Yeah. He used to be nice, and now he's not.
Because I was like, he's complaining of headaches. This is completely out of character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's even... like, I could understand it, because we'll get onto this as the episode goes on. I mean, we've all been in a flummox and just lost the plot and just needed to speak to somebody.
Yes. Honestly, that's most often when I text you girls.
But he just really, it goes on throughout the whole
he has developed a condition, and it's called misogyny.
It's called just being a dumbass male, or poopy head male. That's what it's called, yeah.
We're stopping the poopy head now. So...
Oh my God, that's like me to my nephews. It's like, okay, thank you. You said it. Thank you. We're not going to say that anymore. Thank you.
My daughter Bobs keeps saying, do I have permission to swear? I'm like, no.
And by the way, I'm never going to like really give you permission to swear like that way, you know, like.
He said, I heard what he said.
I used to give my niece permission to swear when we were playing songs in the car.
Oh, and I was like, she's not allowed. She's allowed to listen to them. She's just not allowed to sing that word.
I used to let her sing the lyrics.
You're an auntie. That's fine. Being an auntie, you can do that.
See, my mom has a real feeling about she calls it cussing, curse words.
Yeah.
And so we have
a lot of people do.
Yeah. And we have a no swear word policy in our household, she and I do break that policy from time to time. But I will say it's unspoken, but I do think my mom recognizes that I really only try to use a curse word if I am really upset, and that is a signifier of how upset I am, because otherwise I try to not to curse.
You know, I'm not against swearing.
You're the biggest swearer.
I know, exactly. But I was about to say, I like a good swear, but it's like I just don't want my 8-year-old daughter at school saying it and then everyone being like, oh, your child is the one that's, do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, there's a difference between like a little kid and, you know, like a more mature person. So
when we're at high school, when she's at high school, we're good to go, guys. So
like my nephew who told my mum that he'd been told off because he'd been saying the C word.
Oh!
And my mum was like, oh my gosh, like what have you been saying? And it wasn't the C word, but my nephew went through a phase when he was little of watching Police Interceptors, which is like a fly-on-the-wall police TV show.
Uh-huh.
And he'd been at nursery cooking in the little fake kitchen that they had, and he was putting a sprinkle of cannabis in his cooking.
He put imaginary cannabis in his cooking at school.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Bex, say what your brother does for a job.
Well, my brother and my sister-in-law are both in the police. So they were, that's why he was so obsessed with police interceptors.
Oh, I'll tell you
They
what.
were like appalled because they were like, nursery aren't going to know that that's why he's into it. They're just going to think he's heard about cannabis at home.
Or that she just liberally puts cannabis in all the cooking.
I mean, hey, listen, it starts close to home, you know, like, wow. So Matthew,
anyway,
yeah, but Matthew's being a
Trixie has
huge
this
jerk
really,
and really
this
selfish,
annoying conversation with her husband, right? And then she comes back and it's a face presentation. But
Wait. I'm so sorry. Can I just say one thing though? So like when they're fighting and she realized and like he starts talking about his day and she's like, absolutely not. What the hell are you doing? She's like, I can't even believe that you would like annoy me with this. And he was like, well, I can't believe that you wouldn't prioritize our family or something like that. And then she's like, oh, and she hangs up with the phone on him, which I thought was pretty serious. And I think it is really serious. But to me, in that moment, I would just be like, I'm so pissed off that, and I know that nothing is actually wrong other than that because she's like, take 2 aspirin for your headache and like, leave me alone or whatever. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, now I have all the time in the world because this, jagoff or what is isn't going to call me again. And I know that nothing's wrong and he can handle whatever it is. And so then for me, I'm like, well, I'm not rushing for anything.
Yeah, it was not an act. I can understand it if it was an actual emergency and then you do feel as if you got to get home, but actually
like you're torn. Yeah.
She'd established at that point that there was no emergency.
You're just having a MANTRUM.
Yes. And so anyways, we'll get back to it, but then she goes inside and like you said, there's a face presentation for the baby.
And actually, she also said, Joyce feels it and she says, I'm feeling a mouth. I think it's a face presentation.
I did not.
She's distracted by Matthew. Trixie says, oh, I don't think it will be. That's extremely rare. Like, just
trust Joyce.
Yeah.
Joyce
also,
knows.
It boggles my mind when people like just feel a load of doctors and nurses just feel a load of mush in your stomach and they're like, yeah, that's the appendix, that's the liver, the kidney. And I'm just like, what? You're just feeling nothing.
Well, they're not feeling nothing because they are.
But also, like, I know our listeners won't be able to see this, but imagine I'm like an unborn baby, okay? Can you imagine just someone like just going like this and then like, and then they're feeling your like that? Like, I know babies don't know because they haven't like even like breathed yet or whatever when they're not born, but like at the same time, like I was just like, you're just rooting around in there. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't even really understand why it was so bad, and then my mom was like, Trixie, well, the baby's neck is gonna go the wrong way if it gets born that way, and so then I was like, okay, well that makes sense.
So then Trixie's like, yeah, it is actually. So we need Dr. Turner, right?
Yes.
So then Joyce gets Mrs. Stanton to push because they needed to do it there and then.
Yeah.
And, she gave birth to a boy, right? Now, I presume she'd had a few girls, because she said, I've never had a boy before.
Yeah.
So I think they must have had.
Then says, good things come to those who wait. And I thought, not a boy or a man.
You should never celebrate the birth of a son. It's the last thing the world needs more of is more men. Oh my god.
But then they have the placenta shot. Blech, blech.
Oh, I hate when they show the placenta is so disgusting, you guys.
But Trixie was really rushing Nurse Hyland. Yes, it is. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in real life.
Oh.
But like Trixie leaves Nurse Hyland in charge and she was rushing it. And Nurse Hyland was taking her time because she'd never seen, because it was black from the fact she smoked so much,
and gritty.
Oh, Turner,
meanwhile, is posing for pictures with the family.
Wait, okay, hold on a second. This scene actually had me going because when they're like doing that, where they're taking photos and they're like, "Oh, can we get another one?" And Dr. Turner was like, "Yeah, let me get my good side." Like I was like, "Did they even ask you to be in that?" It's like he like barged his way in. I think they did actually ask him, but at the same time, like to me, that felt so presumptuous. It like really made me laugh. Like when he was like, "Well, if I must," I just.
Well,
but Dr. Turner is a complete cheeser, like all the time.
He is. But Trixie makes her sign it off. She rushes it. And Joyce's
face... Dr. Turner had left, though.
Yeah.
No one else was there except for Trixie and Jocelyn at this point.
And Joyce was... Joyce, for God's sake, it's Joyce.
So, you know what? You guys, this is all your fault.
Remember, okay. Rosalind, right?
I said it right at the top of the episode, and then you said Jocelyn.
Yeah, but we were like...
It's my fault.
It is your fault.
I blame Bex. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not you. So, so Trixie then goes home to the walking MANTRUM Matthew, right? And he's got a stress headache, right?
No.
Oh, go on.
because what she does first, in between, so the baby's delivered, Trixie then goes off to try and make another call to Matthew.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
What he does is the typical male thing now. He doesn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
So not only has he called her inappropriately at work, now she can't get hold of him to reassure herself that everything's okay. So Dr. Turner waits for her to come back and he's like, there you are.
And then she rushes Joyce.
Then says, I'm handing over the placenta to you guys. Well, he's not physically handing it over, but you guys sign off the placenta. Then she rushes to sign it off.
Then she goes home to the MANTRUM.
Exit.
And then
I can't believe she did Joyce dirty like that, though. That's like
they just go off and have sex. That's what annoyed me.
Yeah.
Oh, those two are such horn dogs for each other, which I don't have a problem with that, but a time and place, you guys.
I mean, it was their home. It's fine.
No, I know, but just
I mean, last week they were doing it in the department store. So
every 10 seconds with those two, they're like, wait, is this a place we can like go off and have sex? Like, what about like they were gonna do it in the furniture store?
You know what gets me? That's not the part that gets me. Jen, have you seen him? The part that gets me, right, is that he just treated her like that and she was still up for it. I'd be like, get yourself away from me. Who the hell do you think you don't even look at me?
Again, this is why I can't believe that she like rushed home and that she was worried about I mean, if I walked in, I would be like, oh, you all right? You know what I mean? Like, I would be the one that like, I have the right to be pissed off. You called me for a stupid reason.
I mean,
what your bad mood is like your problem. Like, you should be apologizing to me for annoying me at work.
Yes, exactly.
Like, if she had called him, like, during the middle of his workday where he's lawyering or whatever, and he was, like, right in the middle of a meeting that was really important, and she had his secretary go in there and pull him out, and then she's like, oh, you know, I just don't know what to have for dinner. Like, you said you were bringing guests, but I'm really not sure between, like, pork loin and, like, chicken cutlets or whatever. He would be like, I cannot believe you called me for this.
Yeah.
And he would be right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then that happens, right? Then cut to Prue, who's got a fever. She's in loads of pain and loads of bleeding, right?
Well, Sheila's come back the next morning.
Yeah. And she's like, it's a classic scene of retained placentas.
She's got to go. I do say that Sheila was very calm about it because she didn't panic. She just said, I think this is going to involve a little trip to St. Cuthbert's.
Yeah, and Joyce.
Yeah, she was so chill. Yeah.
Joyce looked so worried.
Yes.
And Rosalind, can I just say, absolutely loved it. She was badass with Sister Julienne.
Yeah, she was. But Joyce knew immediately that it was a retained placenta.
Yeah, she did. And Sister Julienne, actually, give her a due, because I thought Sister Julienne was going to give Joyce a round of hell. She listened really well to Rosalind. And I put it this way, I do think Joyce could have spoken up for herself, but I think Joyce is also trying to be very respectful. So I'm really glad that Rosalind did.
Well, wait, so
I don't think it's that she wouldn't. I think it is that you are perfectly capable of speaking up, but it's one of those things where you don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like whistleblowing, isn't it?
Well, let's just take in some context here.
Now,
one thing. So they first of all were like, well, who was there? Who was it? And they thought it was Joyce's problem because she was the trainee and she was doing all things that. Then cut to it. Now, this is actually a time when I do want to use the Jocelyn thing because the two of them are talking in their bedroom and Joyce is like, well, I don't want to say anything because, you know, and I'm sure there's a racial element to it too. Like, let's just be so real. Like, this is a senior midwife who's white and experienced or anything like that. Joyce comes in there. I'm sure there's got to be something in the back of her mind. Like, can I really, you know, accuse her of like not paying attention or whatever? And then that's when Rosalind says, you know, no, if you're not going to speak up for yourself, I'm going to speak up for you. Like, she's very supportive. Like, she's like, we stick together. She's like, we're friends. She's like, I'm in it with you for the long haul. It was almost like
it's her finding her confidence a bit.
It is. Yes. It is. And it almost was the very slightest bit on the edge of like, okay, calm down. Like, you can just chill out, just like slight bit there. But I did love how she was when they went to Sister Julian's office. And anyways, you guys already said it, but I just thought that was a good like Jocelyn vibes.
When Jocelyn went in to see Sister Julienne, I did, because I would have just said, when they came in and they said, we want to talk to you, Sister Julienne did not need to speak to Joyce right that second. And by saying to them, yes, you can talk to me, but first I must speak to Joyce alone, it kind of I would have said, I would have let them talk to me about what they wanted to talk to me about. Then, as they were going to leave, not knowing that actually we want to talk about the same thing, I could have then said, Joyce, can I borrow you for a quick word? So it didn't seem like there was this big serious thing that in front of Rosalind that she needed to speak to her about.
Wait a
But
minute.
it was
So
a big serious thing though, wasn't it? Like,
so the girl, you think, this was actually a question. So the girls went down there together to talk to Sister Julianne proactively. And then Sister Julianne was like, wait, I'll just speak with Joyce first and then I can talk to both of you. And they didn't realize they were actually dealing with the same thing.
Yeah, but what I mean is, Sister Julianne didn't know that Rosalind knew all about it.
Right.
You look confused, Alex.
No, she wouldn't. But at the same time, I think exactly she didn't know Rosalind knew all about it. So she said she wanted to speak to Joyce first because it was important that she needed to speak to Joyce.
But she didn't need to speak to her that second. She could have literally spoken to the two of them for 2 minutes and then spoken to Joyce. Time was not that much of the essence.
I think
maybe
no,
it was
you're
like,
wrong. I'll die on this hill.
No. You
you'll
might
die
be
on every bloody hill.
I know, but the thing is, maybe you're right, Bex. But I think this is an example of like it's more about the storytelling and like trying to build the tension.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's less about reality than it is about drama.
Yeah. So anyway, as it happens, Trixie folded like a deck of cards.
That ruined the episode for me.
So Trixie was dead upset. She was like, I shouldn't have, you're right. It was my fault. I shouldn't have done it. Oh,
and then she offers her resignation, which is the kind of thing I would do.
It is, yeah.
The minute someone messages me and was like, can we have a chat at work? I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be made redundant.
So...
well, what's that thing like the scariest words in the English language are like we need to talk or something?
Yeah. Prue Stanton was obviously Trixie rang about Prue Stanton and was all like worried about it and real upset. So there was QA being upset for a while. And then Prue Stanton was improving and will be discharged within the week. So that was great, right?
Prue Stanton was loving life at the hospital. She was smoking, she was reading a magazine, she was not bothered.
And they were saying the notes need to be rewritten, basically blaming Trixie. Now, Matthew totally underreacted to the situation. I could not have been more angry when she
wait. Can I just say one thing really quick? So I know you said she folded like a house of cards, or whatever she folded like. But the thing that I found irritating was that when she was talking to Sister Julianne about it, she was like, like I was worrying about my home when I should have been worrying about my work, and like maybe this means that I have my priorities all wrong. And then she goes, and again, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm not right about this, but she was like, maybe I just don't I need to step back because I'm really not supposed to be here anymore. And like, you think that I'm not doing a good job and I'm going to resign. And, because maybe I really just need to be at home full time anyway. And I was like, what are you, like, it was so odd to me that she went from the instinctive reaction that she had in that telephone booth to then like all the other steps after. And I just was like,
but it's also 1969.
Yeah, I was going to say it is a different time. We're looking at it through our lens as modern women who
yes, it's true. It's true.
At that time, it was very rare. Well, it was more common, but it was rare to have married women working. Also, I've just seen the paper chain on your fireplace, Jen.
Oh, that's my felt.
Delightful. Let me see the whole thing.
That was. I remember when I told you guys I got the felt in my glue gun.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. That's it. I really like it actually. I think it turned out really, really well. I have a lot more felt too, and I need to put it away properly and then get like thinking about some other projects and stuff because I do still have a lot left over of like.
All right, guys, it's not like we've got loads and loads of storyline to cover here.
Anyways, highly recommend listeners make a felt paper chain, and it will be beautiful. I got everything off Amazon. It's very inexpensive.
So Trixie's home. Matthew's totally underreacting after she said about the whole situation. She's like, this is really serious.
Yeah. Have they had? Oh, yeah, because they've already had sex. Yes, continue.
Oh, I never saw anything like that. They never moved off the couch in my episode.
No, this is after she's had the whole thing with Joyce and
heart with Sister Julianne.
Yeah, maybe she folded like a scene.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Okay, yes.
So Matthew's totally underreacting, being like, we're married, basically telling her to quit. Basically, and she was like, it's my vocation. And then he suggests that his mum was like, oh, my mum used to do Meals on Wheels. And Trixie basically says, absolutely outraged.
She basically says, we've been married for 8 months. Marriage isn't about who you are. Are you a wife?
He says this. He says
it.
Yeah.
He says, are you a wife or a midwife? Because her solution is that 3 nights a week when she's working, she's going to stay at Nanata's house.
Yeah.
Which isn't really what the problem is. The problem isn't that she's commuting from home.
It's that he's bloody ringing her when she's got a headache.
And he's like, when are you home? And all this. Yeah.
But, I mean, knowing what we know now, he's obviously very stressed about work. How is her not working the solution to this problem?
Yeah, if anything, that's an extra income coming through. And actually, we do know, spoiler alert, in the future, her wage actually is a godsend for them. But she's like,
even
can't
though
I be both? Can't I be a midwife and a wife? And he's like, only you can answer that.
That's why I
But
was
basically, he
convinced.
says like, no, the answer's no. I mean, he really doesn't want her to.
And it's like the complete role reversal of who Matthew is. This is why I was so convinced it was a brain tumor.
Yeah, you were, I remember.
I know.
Also, just to finish the Prue Stanton storyline off, though, sorry, what did she name the baby?
Neil.
Neil Armstrong.
Baby Neil.
Well,
Stanton.
and
Neil the baby.
And she literally says, you know, how's that for a modern name? So she even says, like, I want him to have a modern name.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about modern names versus, you know. So, but it's I just have to say about the Trixie and Matthew thing, it also his first wife worked when he was like, you know what I mean?
What we're saying.
It's just so freaking annoying.
And character. I just don't understand it. I just don't. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean everybody has bad days, but I guess like this is gonna start kind of a downward.
And this is where I could understand in the throes of, like, he was obviously panicking about the business and all the investment meetings. The news is just coming to him about like what a pickle they're in. So I can understand because everything seems worse at night time. So I can understand the panic. You know, when you just get yourself really worked up about something. Now, I'm not around a crying baby, but sometimes I'm around a barking dog, and that doesn't help. And so just having that, like, the outside noise, not being able to hear yourself think, I can understand. I can't forgive why he did it, but I can understand him ringing Trixie in that moment. I can't understand him doubling down on it now the following day.
Here's what I'm probably gonna find.
You're the world's worst at doubling down.
Yes. Yes.
You literally just doubled down about 4 minutes ago.
When I'm in the right, I'll double down on something. Matthew wasn't in the right.
I've seen you double down when you are not in the right.
Oh my god.
No, sometimes I do it just to take the opposite opinion. No, I don't do it just to take the opposite opinion, but sometimes I will. Sometimes I'm on the fence about something. If someone really goes hard in the other way, I'll go hard the opposite.
All I remember is a legendary fight about Colleen Rooney. Anyway,
I'll stand by that.
Oh my god.
And Katie Price.
But here's the thing. It's gonna get more frustrating as it goes along, and I know we're all gonna rage about their relationship. Well, I'm gonna rage about it. But the thing that's starting to become an issue, and this episode really showed it, is these two people are not communicating great.
Yeah.
They are not, and I mean,
you couldn't with him though, ringing you, shouting at you, saying he's got a headache. But
the thing is, they were doing good up to like when they got married, and somehow like when they got married, it started to fall apart. I'm like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know. It's
and if anything, Matthew was doing so well with the communication when he was grieving his dead wife, but now he's in a happy marriage. He can't share his actual feelings,
like real thing. Well, I mean, the first time we've ever seen him question a price tag ever was like with that sofa. And it's like, that doesn't prompt you to be like, babe, why are you worried about how much the sofa costs? Like, you literally never cared about money ever in our whole relationship. Like, you bought me a car, you bought the nuns a scooter, you bought that, you know, Christmas house for that, you know, anyway, on and on. Sorry.
I think it is frustrating, but we're going to have more of that. Now, we've got loads to cover. Shall we talk about the other big storyline, and then we can talk about the moon?
Yeah.
Because that kind of ends it a bit nicer, because this storyline, bloody hell. So Sister Veronica
broke my heart.
I know.
Well, both of them broke my heart.
It was the vaccinations, and Sister Veronica was amazing at handling the teenagers. Now, it was the BCG. Now, I've got a massive scar from my BCG vaccination. Did you have BCG over there?
Like a TB vaccination?
Yeah.
Not that same way. I don't have a TB scar on my arm
either.
Did you not? Did you have the test on your wrist, and then when it came up, you had to then have the injection on your arm, and it was all weepy and disgusting?
So
I don't remember. I do remember having vaccinations. I've definitely had my MMR.
Yeah, but BCG was the big one.
I don't think we did that the same way over here. I don't think we did. At least not that I remember.
Scar. Does everybody have a scar?
No, not everyone. It's quite common to have a scar. Mine was all weepy and disgusting where it has it.
I've seen your scar, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't, Bex. Anyway, I thought you might have, but apparently not. So
well, I don't remember it.
Right.
And there's no evidence.
Know if you have a scar, wouldn't you?
Well, no, I've not got a scar.
Right. So you can ask your mum and dad about that, actually. See if you might have been one of them people who didn't need it because your uncle was in a chicken coop. So
there you go. In an apple orchard. Yeah.
I had hereditary, what was it? I don't know, antibodies. What's the vaccination?
I don't know. Anyway, so
Immunity.
Heredity. Yes.
So
exactly.
anyway, they were doing it in the hall, and there were all different school kids there. And Nancy and Sister Veronica were both badass at dealing with these kids.
And by the way, Tim is back.
Tim's
Yeah.
awkwardly leaning over a desk to do it.
Oh, his back was gonna be hurting.
So they meet Samuel and Esther Chidozi, and their dad. We also meet their dad, who's a road sweeper, right? I don't know what you call them, a road sweep, a street cleaner, but he seems ill, right?
Yeah.
And the disrespect of people dropping litter in front of him.
Oh, I mean, let's not even. Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of thing you see on TV shows. It's not a bunch of, well, I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know.
People do it. Absolutely.
My mum was born to be a road sweep because I've never known anyone sweep better than my mum. We tell her all the time that the council should just employ her full time and she'd just work her way around the town.
She just loves to sweep.
She loves to sweep. There's a passageway that goes from my house to my parents' house. I mean, makes it sound like Diagon Alley or something, but there's a series of passageways and she sweeps them all the time.
Does she?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I love it.
So off Bex's mom. All right.
Samuel and Esther. So they do this little test for the BCG thing, which basically says if you need it or not, right? And they're like, just Veronica and Tim are like, oh, we don't want anyone positive. And then Samuel and Esther comes forward straight away and they're both positive.
Well, no, they literally jinx them because they're like, wow, like no one's come back positive all day. Like we've been doing so well. And then literally they pull up his sleeve and it's like this bright red indicate like yes positive or whatever, and they're like, oh darn it, like we got our first ones, it's just
So Nancy says she can fit a visitor into the parents on the way on a district round, right? Now Nancy goes to visit and it's it's now 1969. It's been a while since we've seen abject poverty, hasn't it? Like where people actually live
tough.
Loads of people to a room. There's a rat on the floor that made me jump. And it's just it is an absolute hovel, basically.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. And so Nancy's going around and she's saying, it's possible tuberculosis and you'll need x-rays. The whole family will need x-rays because obviously it's not just because obviously those two have been found positive, so which means most likely the rest of the family will be. And there's a few brothers and sisters, an extra 3, including the baby, and then the mum and the dad.
3, because there's 4 children and the baby, isn't there?
Yeah. So an extra 3, including the baby.
Oh,
so
it's a lot of kids.
Yeah, so the dad comes in and he's like, welcome to our home. They're so lovely. They're so welcoming. They're so nice.
Do you know what? It just broke my heart. It broke my heart that he, whenever people talk about what they're qualified to do and then they're he's having to work as a street cleaner. And even then he says that he's just been dismissed from his job, but he's obviously suffering from the effects of the TB. So he's unwell.
Yeah, and he's coughing blood and Nancy insists on looking at this tissue because she's like, is that blood? So she sends for the doctor.
But also, just to add, where he says, coming to Britain, it isn't like they showed it in the reels. And I just think,
he said, I wanted tea at the Ritz, not tea with the rats. I thought you were a lols merchant, mate. That was brilliant. So Dr. Turner's like, it seems like it's tuberculosis. One of his eyebrows up, and you know what I mean? It's serious faces. So Dr. Turner gets them all registered with him, but the cost of the prescription, he's like, it's all free on the NHS. And they were like, well, is it going to cost anything for a prescription? They're like, oh, 2 shillings or whatever, which is a hell of a lot of money for them.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's £9.90 for a prescription.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, Nancy and Phyllis.
I don't even want to talk about the cost of what it costs in America for things, but anyways, yeah.
So and some people get free. Children over 65s, certain health conditions.
The Welsh.
Contraception's free.
That's not can I just say the Welsh is not a health condition. But they have it more heavily subsidised. So Nancy and Phyllis are talking about the tuberculosis fans, and it just made me think, my God, we've come so far since Sheila. How long ago does that seem? I know it was years and years ago. It was like the first series, wasn't it? And now we're in
yes,
13.
absolutely. I know. When they took him off, I was thinking, oh my God, Sheila had tuberculosis, and we weren't sure if she was going to come back from it. But I mean, she did. Luckily, she seems fine. But yeah,
yeah.
And
so anyway,
how far they've come, because when they were doing x-rays when they found Sheila's, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas now there's a test for it.
Well, no, that's the test to see if you need to have the thing. They still need to do x-rays to see if they had it. That they were sending them for x-rays.
No, but I thought when they found Sheila's, there wasn't the test then.
No, that was the test to see if you needed to have the vaccine.
Oh.
Yeah. But we had that. We had that in, yeah. So he was let go from his job in Lagos. He was a clerk in a government office, and now he can't even sweep the streets here, right? But even then, he was still positive, like, we'll be okay. We're going to sort it and stuff. And I just thought, oh my God, you're so lovely. And it's just awful, isn't it? So then Rosalind and Nancy go round and they say about tokens and free school meals, right? And the mum's like, I just feel ashamed because obviously she had a better job over there as well.
Yeah. And she says that where they've come from, she was the person providing the help, and now she's having to be the one accepting the help.
Yeah. And then Felix, the husband's really, really poorly, right? And he needs a bed in isolation ward, but the kids also need beds in isolation ward because bear in mind, they've also tested positive, right?
There's no chicken coops.
No. I mean, there probably is, but so Felix is outside having someone say they don't want your germs in here, right? When that guy's like, we don't want your germs in here. And it was just because obviously they share a toilet. Like, it's just, we haven't seen poverty like this for ages.
Yeah.
Right? And then, he's like, a good man raises a fine son. So he was saying that's Dr. Turner and stuff.
Do you know what, though? It was so poignant.
It really was, because then what happened?
Well, then he coughed up a load of blood down to Nabby's
side. Like spit out, like projectile.
Yeah.
It was almost like in a movie when you see someone like, like it just kind of exploded out of his mouth, and then he just passed out and fell down, and then Dr. Turner was like, what? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It was...
Well, he didn't just pass out and fall, like he died in front of his kids.
Honestly, the children acted in a way that they were so traumatized, and I was like, absolutely, like that was such a traumatizing thing to even just watch this. I was like, oh my God, it was so heartbreaking because it was right when he was supposed to be going to get some help, and he made a big thing about putting the blazer on and all that, and it was just like, oh God.
And Timothy ran up. They've already got an ambulance coming to collect him, but Dr. Turner sends Timothy off to run for an ambulance, or to send motion where the ambulance is.
Yeah.
No, motion where they are to the ambulance. But then Tim says that the ambulance wasn't there yet, so he's rung for another one. So he's worried that they're going to have two ambulances. I didn't sound right. Yeah. But Dr. Turner says it doesn't matter because they're both going to be too late.
Oh, God.
For them. And then I was even more heartbroken, having gone through all that. They've obviously then, if I skipped ahead, they've now found beds for the children because they need to have treatment. And just the fact that...
Well, she's lost the two eldest kids and the husband. I know the eldest kids are going to come back.
Yeah.
Obviously, to go through something so traumatic and then your two eldest are not there and you're worried about them at the same time as well. Like, it's just absolutely harrowing.
Yeah. Well, and been ripped apart.
And to my mom's point, like, how are they honestly going to be surviving? You know what I mean? Like, what income does she have? Like, how, like, they already didn't have money when he was working.
Well, Rosalind and Nancy are sorting it, aren't they? They came round and said, you can get tokens, you can get these milk meals, we'll get the meals for the school. And also, once he's died, she'll be able to get some kind of assistance as well.
Okay. I mean, I believe you. I didn't catch all of that, but yeah, okay.
And hopefully Sister Veronica will be on it and know, like, what she's entitled to.
Health visitor,
So this whole TB storyline had two parts, because obviously we had that whole situation happening, but it brought out something in Nancy. So Nancy says to Phyllis that she thinks her mum died of TB, because obviously she saw Felix and saw how thin he was and all this kind of stuff. It really brought back memories of her.
Like triggered her,
The sound of him coughing sparked a memory of her mum coughing as well.
Yeah.
When Nancy said that when she held Mr. Chidoze's hand and it was so bony, and then that kind of triggered some memories, and then she's like, I remember this like coughing noise and everything, but it sounded like when she went to the orphanage she was really little. Like I was getting like 3, 4, 5-year-old vibes.
Yeah,
I mean, any older than that and you would have a more solid memory. So unless
you Bex. But Nancy was looking at photos with Colette. Bex just gave me a look of her mum with Colette and stuff. And so she'd already confided in Phyllis. And Phyllis speaks to Miss Higgins, who finds a nun who is now Kathleen Flanagan. So she's obviously given up with the sisterhood.
Now, Miss Flanagan, yeah. So, but also Miss Higgins' skills are next level.
I know, I love her.
Can you imagine if she lived in today's times? I mean, she would be able to find anyone.
I'm good at Facebook stalking. I'm good at finding stuff out, but Miss Higgins is next level.
And imagine like the resources she had in 1969.
I know.
All analog, literally all analog, like the phone calls. You know what I mean? The records. Oh my God.
But also, Miss Higgins was just so lovely with it, because she says to Nancy, like, well, firstly, Nancy reacts and feels like it's an intrusion of her privacy because she didn't ask Phyllis She didn't ask Miss Higgins to track them down, and Phyllis explains that she asked Miss Higgins to do it.
Yeah.
But also, Miss Higgins says to her, like, I can hand over the address, but I'd rather drive you there. Like, she's so supportive. I just love Miss Higgins.
But also Nancy was also like a bit annoyed, but also very thankful. It was very lovely. It was a nice, warm thing.
But here's the question I have. When she told Phyllis all this, what did she think Phyllis, like, did she just think she was telling Phyllis and Phyllis was just supposed to just do nothing? I mean,
I think she just needed to speak to someone to share.
Oh, okay. I kind of thought it was like, help me on this journey.
Well, so did Phyllis.
You know
it's
what
not
I mean?
like she said, "Oh, I think my mum died of TB."
End of.
Next just winked, guys. This is a podcast.
I just did a wink.
Like an exaggerated wink.
I thought there was some implied.
No, I didn't. But again, Phyllis must have, because she did it. So then Miss Higgins has got this this nun who's like ex-nun who's like, yes, she's willing to speak to you, right?
Yeah.
So Miss Higgins, which you've said, takes Nancy, right? And Kathleen says she was from a tubercular family, which I've never heard that phrase.
Well, also,
cut to simultaneously, Nancy's helping the Chidozi family, and Rosalind says to her, "Can you imagine an entire family if an entire family had TB?" Like, and Nancy's kind of this is
why I was in an office.
But also, did anyone remember Miss Masterson?
Yes.
Both from the show and the book. I mean, that's a tubercular
the book was the most
family.
Bloody harrowing, yeah.
Oh my God, the book
is the bleakest.
I thought about it again, and then I was just like, stop! Don't think about this again. It's too.
But it was really
sad.
beautiful because Kathleen helped Nancy. You know, that because she was like, "Oh, your mum wanted you to be loved. She came with her. She wanted to see who was going to be loving her, and
and that she wanted to see where she was going to sleep and what she was going to eat, and that she was going to be loved.
And then Nancy panics and comes back to Renata's house and does the BCG test on Paulette.
But I love that it was they were trying to talk to the nun, Miss Flanagan, but it's actually Nancy's face that triggers the memory because she recognises her.
Yeah, she blue eyes like saucers.
But also it's the fact that I would recognise that round face.
Oh goodness.
So
this is off topic, but I don't know when I'll bring this up. Rosalind's jaunty berry.
I mean, it was nice, but shall we finish this storyline first?
Yeah.
So
I heard jaunty berry, and I was like,
jaunty
what?
berry.
Yeah, I said it.
I did say
I
no.
said it. Yeah,
jaunty berry sounds like a weird fruit you get from a bush in like the Cotswolds. So Sister Veronica relents and says yes, she'll do the BCG test just to make her feel better. We never hear anything else on it, so I'm guessing she didn't have it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, Nancy has to be Nancy. She's got to be super impulsive, like, you know.
Yeah, and she's just found out her whole family died of tuberculosis.
Listen, I did ultimately feel sympathy, but at the same time, I mean, Nancy just rules are rules until she needs something done, and then all that goes out the window. It's just a frustrating.
Well, one thing that was really lovely was when Nancy went to visit the TB family, the Chidozis, and they did a ritual which she joined them for, and I thought that was nice because obviously it was kind of like it was a ritual for her mum at the same time, her family.
And Nancy did a great job this episode, and honestly, she was going through a lot, and I do have a lot of sympathy for it. So I don't want it to make it seem like, oh, I was like, you know, irritated the whole time. It was that like fleeting moment where I just was like, oh, but yes, she really did a lot, and she was going through a lot. So,
and I'm glad that it gave her the closure that she needed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, Fred, let's cover it because we need to carry on. Fred was instructing the replacement lollipop man because he's suffering and he's complaining about not being able to do anything. And Violet's stopping him from doing loads of stuff. Now, Mojo's saying that he's been ill, right? But she isn't, right? And they're so pumped about the moon landing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really enjoy that they were really pumped about the moon landing together, right? Now, what I did really, really enjoy is when Sister Mojo was being annoying at the dinner table, right? And Rosalind was really rude to her.
Oh, I thought Rosalind was perfect with that line. I was like,
she spoke to Mojo as I want to. And, Sister Mojo was
and everyone was so shocked.
Faced with the astronauts. I was like, bleh.
I know. And she was like, well, how are you going to do that? And then she's like, oh, I'm just going to eat like mushed up oatmeal. And she said something like, she didn't say this was so, what was her line? It was so perfect. It was like, it was like, don't you think that's a bit like much or something? And everyone just like, you can hear the record scratch, you know what I mean? Like, and Phyllis was like, we do not address our senior, something like that. And she was like, oh, sorry. I mean, I did
love that Sister Monica Joan had the TV in repose. So basically didn't want to risk breaking the TV before tomorrow.
Yeah, it needed a rest. Meanwhile, she never lets it have a moment's rest any other day of the year because she watches that dang TV 365 all the time. But okay, give it its repose in advance of the moon landing, sure.
Oh, do you know what though? All that about the moon landing, it was because it is such a heavy episode, especially after the week before that was ridiculously heavy as well.
Yes.
But the community excitement about the man on the moon was absolutely amazing. The fact that they took this TV out onto the street, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good job it didn't bloody rain.
Watch. I know.
But you know who I loved watching it the most?
Who?
Prue. Smoking, watching it on TV.
Oh my God. I was going to say, I love the Turner family.
I also love that.
They all, Sheila, at one point I was like, wait, what's going on here? And because it was at the beginning and all the kids were coming around and Sheila had so much tinfoil on the table. And I was like, this is crazy. But she clearly was making a themed thing or whatever, because she made a tinfoil rocket as her centerpiece. And then all the other foods had tinfoil decoration and everything like that.
And then weird that the Turners weren't at Nolata's house though.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, though, and it was going on into the night.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was a bit weird.
Well, they're kind of both there and not there, depending on what they want to be. You know what I mean? It's they do have their own TV, I guess. So
yeah,
it kind of makes sense.
But it was they were all watching it in the street, and Fred and Violet holding hands watching it. Because bearing in mind the week before he was really poor. Do you know what I mean? Oh.
I know. And then when she comes out and she's like, no, because he's trying to lift up the whole big pallet of newspapers. And she's like, no, Fred, you can't do that. She's like, let me know. You have to understand how, you're recovering or whatever. And he was like, ugh. And then she tried to pick them up and they were clearly way too heavy for her. And so then he's like, hold on. And so he snips the cord and then she picks up one packet and he picks up one packet. And I was like, oh, you guys just continue to be so darn cute.
I love it.
But when Fred was asking Violet for permission to go and watch the Apollo 11 landings with Sister Monica Joan, that was cute.
That was cute. And Mojo got really emotional about the plane landing, about the rocket taking off, the rocket launch, because obviously the actual man walking on the moon was I really enjoyed the way they did that. It was her on her own watching it and she was absolutely loving it, but then it was also Angela on her own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Angela was awake and then she went and woke her dad up and those two were just watching. It was a really special moment for those two and I just thought that was so gorgeous.
That was
I really, really loved that.
That was sweet, yeah.
It's a really sweet moment.
Really lovely, yeah. And actually, it made me kind of think, because I was like, wait a minute, why is everyone asleep? And then I was like, oh, duh, of course, because in the U.S., they would have catered it to Eastern Standard Time, because that's kind of our standard, TV time thing. And you guys, that's so late, you know what I mean? Because in the U.S., they'd want it to be prime time. And so they probably didn't start in the U.S. until, 7, 8 o'clock at night when everyone was home. And then, that's 5 hours ahead for you guys and, all that kind of thing. So I was like, wow, this just goes to show. Oh, I have to say, it also, I told you guys this before we started recording, or maybe I said it at the beginning of the episode, but I found it honestly a bit emotional to watch that scene because I just started to think about how much of a technological and scientific leap that was for just humanity, all of humanity. But then, I guess I can't help but think of the fact that that was an American accomplishment. I mean, not, nothing happens in a vacuum. So I'm not trying to say that no one else takes credit, but that was America put the first man on the moon and all that kind of thing. And it was
That's if it happened.
Well,
don't start. Someone
at work, Jen, genuinely thinks it's a conspiracy. I was like, oh, get in the bin.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I watched the thing about flat earthers and I was just like, I can't with you people.
Oh
but
I love when flat earthers do experiments and then they prove that the earth is round.
I know. And they're like, well, this must be off. The technology must be, I'm like, no, it's because the earth is round. But anyways, yeah, it just, I don't know. And listen, that time, 1969 was a hard time in America too. There was a lot going on in that time. And I'm not trying to, say that it was a simpler time or a better time or anything like that. But I did just, even though I wasn't even born, I was very much not born at that time. I did feel a bit of surge of, I don't know, just happiness, pride or whatever. And it, I don't know, I just, for some reason, it just kind of captured, even the magic of it through the show, it kind of captured something in me, which then I thought, okay, yes, I can understand why all of these people are so captivated by this historical event. So that's what I'm trying to say.
But it was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
When you talk about the tinfoil, I've just sent a picture to the group of my nephew dressed as a spaceman.
Oh,
it's really cute. Obviously, we won't be sharing that on social media.
Now, if the moon landings had been fake,
Oh,
I
Bex.
This isn't a conspiracy
No, I
theory. That was
don't
just a
believe
joke.
they are fake. I don't
Right.
believe they are fake. But what I'm saying is, if it had been a fake, there's no way by now they wouldn't have done a second mission.
I mean, we've been up there many times.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
we've never just walked on the moon since, have they?
I mean, other stuff is I actually don't know, to be honest with you. You're raising an interesting point. But I mean, other stuff has landed on the moon since
Why do
then.
we always make ourselves look so stupid?
I didn't.
The humans have walked across the moon 12 times across 6 successul missions.
Okay.
Oh,
So we
okay.
have walked on the moon and
Well, there you go.
Right.
So there we go.
Do you know who else is back walking? Kids across the lollipop crossing that Fred's manning because he's back working. He's back to his full self. Oh, it's all brilliant.
Arthur did look professional, though. Arthur looked very competent.
Arthur was probably brilliant at it, but he's not our Fred, is he?
No, he's not.
I'm glad they actually referenced it in one more episode because I feel like sometimes people have really serious stuff and they kind of move past it a little bit quick because I mean each series is supposed to take place over one calendar year, so I'm glad they kind of gave
like
Fred
Jenny
like
when
some
she
more...
like lost Alec and then 2 episodes later she met her husband and left.
Yeah, like he died and then she went away for like a grieving vacation and then she came back and then she was like, oh hey, love of my life.
Anyone got anything more to say?
I think Nancy's wearing a hair extension. I don't think that's her real hair.
Because her hair is so long.
It's so long. And it's also very thick for being so long. And the real actress might have, I mean, I think it's the real actress's like hair, obviously. I don't think it's like a complete wig. But every time we see her, I just have a hard time believing that's all her real hair. And especially like, the reason I noticed it is because when she went to the convent, or not the convent, but wherever she went to meet the ex-nun, she has that huge ponytail that comes down and it's just so long and it's like thick and everything.
AI
and I just think that's...
you are correct.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of fake hair on TV, and I'm gonna say I don't think people realize how much fake hair there is on television. The amount
I'm
that
rubbish
people
at
are...
stuff like this. I never noticed stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, well, I mean,
you're brilliant at stuff like that. I'm not rubbish.
It's an interest, but I kind of worked in this field. But there's just so many wigs and so many hair pieces that are always happening in every form of movies, TVs, and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's honestly fun to me a little bit to like spot the wig or whatever. Oh, and then wait. I did want to mention something. This isn't about the episode, but you guys, I just watched The 7 Dials, the new Agatha Christie show on Netflix, and guess who's in it? Guess which Call the Midwife alum?
Hilda.
Who's Hilda?
Sister Hilda. One of
No,
those
that's a good guess, but no.
It is a good guess. Yeah, you're right.
Phyllis.
No. Ex Call the Midwife. She's
Jenny.
left. No. I've literally never seen that girl ever again after Call the
You're
Midwife.
gonna have to tell us.
Sister Francis.
Oh,
I love her.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you guys, he's only in it for like 5 minutes, but you know who else is in it? The guy who played young King George in Queen Charlotte, the Bridgerton prequel show.
Oh, yeah.
He is so darn cute, and I just am never going to get over it. Oh my God, that boy is so cute. And he's so young, it's like so inappropriate, but I'm just... Anyways.
On that note, shall we do Heroes and Zeros?
Yeah, when she says the young King George, she's talking about an adult.
I mean, there's nothing inappropriate about it in me. Like he's like 28 years old or something. And there's nothing wrong with it, but anyways.
Right, should we do Heroes and Zeros?
It was Call the Midwife related.
It was.
Until you started talking about King George.
Oh my God, Heroes and Zeros.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go. My zero is going to be just the fact that the Chidoze family came to Britain and just the abject poverty. They've basically been missold a dream of what they were coming to. And then just the tragedy for that family just to be ripped apart.
Yeah,
I agree.
And then my hero is going to there's another zero I could, but I'm doing one.
Yeah, there's a lot of zeros in this episode.
And then my hero is going to be Miss Higgins and Phyllis combined for stepping in and just helping Nancy find peace.
Yeah,
that's great. That's really good.
Shall I go next?
Yes.
My zero's Matthew.
Yes, that was going to be my next one, but I was only
good one.
I don't think I need to explain it. It's mantrums. My hero is going to be Joyce for how she dealt. Well, and Rosalind, Team Jocelyn,
Jocelyn.
for how they dealt with the whole situation. But Joyce was under a lot of pressure there, and it was just really hard for her. And she handled Prue Stanton really well. Good on her.
Yeah. Jen.
Wait, question. Do we know if Mr. Chidoze and the family caught TB here or there?
We don't.
Okay, you would know when they got it. Okay. My 0 is gonna be
The coffee stains on
No, so I'll do my 0 is gonna be TB. I know we kind of covered it with the other ones, so it's a little bit of an overlap to what you guys said, but that's touched a lot of lives on this show over the years, And honestly, I remembered Miss Masterson, and it's just a sad, sad, sad thing. And it's just, anyway, I don't know enough about it to say more about it, but anyways, a 0. My hero is gonna be moon landing.
Yes.
We did it, you guys. Mission accomplished, okay?
Did we though?
Oh, if I wasn't in such a good mood, I would be so upset with that. No, it was so sweet, and it was really an uplift. And honestly, what I also felt very touched by is that it was watching these British people be so excited and proud about something that was happening in another. I mean, the moon is
in America.
This
feeling is going to be short-lived for the Americans.
No. Like, we were on the moon. The moon is for everyone, obviously. It felt very a global coming together
it was
moment.
A global moment. Yeah.
And so to me, that just felt very heartening because it felt like we were all rooting for each other and we were all excited about something at the same time. And I just think whenever everyone is getting together to kind of, be uplifted by each, it was a togetherness and,
Also, I'll say I've been to Florida and I've visited the Kennedy Space Center, and it's a miracle that those things got to the moon because it's literally like someone's built a frame and wrapped it in tinfoil.
I saw a rocket launch there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When I was 9 in Florida. That was very exciting.
Crazy. So, fun fact, when my nephews were here over Christmas, we were taking them to like all the kid things. And there's an Air and Space Museum not very far away from us, and we took them. They really liked it. They were a little young for it, but they liked it. But they had an Apollo, the movie Apollo 13 where they're like in that like little thing is when they like hit
the
back
capsule,
into Earth, the little like pod thing that they can only fit in. And they had one of those in the museum from a different Apollo mission. But the way that similar to you, Bex, like I just couldn't believe that had been all the way up there and it made it back and they all were fine, and it just was wild to see it. It really was. It's
right.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for listening. Next week we'll be watching Series 13, Episode 5, so if you'd like to listen along, that'd be fantastic. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.